John F. Kennedy Presidential Library and Museum is dedicated to preserving the legacy of the 35th President of the United States.
This new exhibit will open this coming Friday on the 50th anniversary of JFK's assassination and the state funeral that followed. 22 News anchor Rich Tedimer takes a closer look from Boston.
The exhibit is called A Nation Remembers. It's a tribute to the memory of President John F. Kennedy and the nation that mourned him. It takes a look back at those 4 days in November 1963 and how the nation mourned its fallen leader. There are artifacts in this exhibit that haven't been seen in 50 years.
These are iconic artifacts. They really do have a power, I think, to connect us back to that moment, which is why we're bringing them out now.
They include the saddle from the riderless horse, the boots backward, the ancient symbol of a fallen warrior, and the flag that draped the president's casket.
And when you see that image behind the way we present the flag of Mrs. Kennedy holding that flag and really the pain and sorrow on her face, but also she was the woman who really steadied the nation and helped the entire nation grieve and get through this mourning period and move on. So in some ways this exhibit is a tribute to her.
There is also, in a small frame, a condolence telegram sent to Mrs. Kennedy from Mrs. J.D. Tippit, from one widow to another.
He obviously was the police officer who was also killed by Lee Harvey Oswald, and she recognized that she could share some in the pain that Mrs. Kennedy was going through because they both lost their husbands. But again, it's a story of hope and courage and moving on.
Jacqueline Kennedy responded to Mrs. Tippit and said, "We have another bond that we share. We must remind our children what brave men their fathers were." The exhibit opens on Friday, November 22nd, and runs through President's Day. In Boston, I'm Rich Tedimer, 22 News.